I'm not.
Well, you should go back to sleep. What?
I was about to say, any more questions?
When are you going back to sleep?
When you stop pestering me.
Nim will slowly tilt his hat over his face, even though he's sitting up.
No, he's not.
Oh, you're not? I thought you sat up. And then we'll tilt your hat back over your face.
Over, so what, the hat's just on the bedroll over his face?
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yala, got anything to say?
Nope. It's evening, so she'd probably just sleep.
To bed she go.
I don't think Nim wants to do anything. Nim also goes to sleep.
No one also goes to sleep?
Yeah, I feel like we don't have to do watches in a town.
Yeah. Prin's gonna shake Samson and ask where the food is.
We already told him to go to the tavern, so that shouldn't happen.
I mean, if he does it anyways, Hyala will sit up, pull out a chunk of the raw snail meat that she's holding and just throw it at him.
Honestly, before she even does that, Samson just, like, revolver. just straight up pointed at Prin, just be like, and just, like, scoots it towards the door, just go to the tavern.
I'm not eating whatever garbage they have there. Where's our food? I'll cook something
Then
myself.
You're not eating.
Also, Prin has meat on him.
Yeah, he also carries some of the snail meat because I can't fit all of that in the bag.
So, with that, Prin's gonna, like, get up and just walk out and slam the door behind him.
Dick. Samson will holster his gun.
So Hyana went to sleep, Nim went to sleep, Celeste is awake, Prin walked out, Samson's just lying there?
Samson's just lying there, trying to feel better.
You want to make a constitution check to see if you feel any better as time goes on?
Yeah.
Nice.
What'd you get?
A 23.
Nat 23!
Yeah.
So, given like an hour or two goes by, it's getting even more close to nighttime. And in that time, Celeste will have gone to make her way over to the tavern alone. Or possibly look for Prin. She didn't really say either, or which. But you could assume wherever she went to go find food. And given that time of you laying there with your thoughts, you start to feel better, and you recuperate. Alcoholic constitution seems to matter for something.
Alright. So, Samson is back on his feet. Ugh. Do I have an idea whose bedroll this was? Or did they just take mine and put it over me?
I honestly don't know whose bedroll that was.
Yeah, I don't think she was paying attention.
Alright, we'll say you just took the bedroll off of my back and put it on my front.
It works.
Now, navigating the town, I'll slip out of the little thing right now. I assume it's like you said, it's getting close to nighttime.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any way I can locate a, like a blacksmith or someone who, you know, trades weapons?
You don't notice a blacksmith anywhere in the town, like the iconic billowing smoke or sound of hammering or sound of a roaring fire. You don't really get any of those on your own. As
Not just like wandering around or anything like that.
no, honestly, a lot of what you can see kind of looks like a lot of storehouses. It is possible that, from your observations, this port might more just be where they offload whatever comes on the Umber Rose and start to figure out where it needs to be distributed on the fly. I mean, there's a few things, of course, like the candy maker and the tavern, but it's not so much like a self-sufficient unit as because it's already a port, and the port
it gets away for being like a center of trade.
Yeah.
All right. Samson's just, I guess he's just gonna wander around the town looking for something of interest to him.
Trying to think of what Samson might find interesting, because if I can think of that list, I'll make you roll for it.
Well, Samson's, I want to say, 5 interests are guns, animals, liquor, food. Those last 2 he already knows a spot for. And, like, maybe somewhere to just strike up trade with all of the stuff he already has. So we'll fix that by just saying any place for guns, animals, or trade.
So now I'm like doing one thing on the offhand, and of course words being exceptionally weird, so it's visibly like spacing the lines unevenly, and it drives me mad every single time.
No mad.
Only glad, but let me take a quick look at this map because I can think of one thing. So, you see where those fields are, where that little diamond building is?
Yes?
Yeah, little Star Destroyer shaped one. That is, in fact, looks like it's a ranch, but when you're just walking around in the center of town, you're not close enough to really see what is there. But it's got the tellings from a distance of some place they might pen animals.
Yeah, I'll go check it out.
So, as you approach, a pretty old man, kind of lanky, little wiry. Doesn't look like he's broken down or anything, but he's slim fit. He's like old man slim fit, if you get my drift.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just tending to these really tall, really fast-looking birds. They look like they could probably kick your chest in, something fierce.
Cool. Dire ostriches.
A little bit, but also no. They're kind of like big old, almost dinosaur-looking things. You know, like bird dinosaurs?
Mm-hmm.
It's a terrible description. My descriptions are fucking shit today. Yuck. Anyway, that's a me problem. So he kind of looks at you and is like, "How strange! Never seen you around here. But I was in the tavern earlier, and good old Gilmfer said that he had some friends in town, so extra partying all around. I'm assuming you'll be one of them."
That I am. And, as you can imagine, I'm, not from around here, but Rosebeard was kind enough to bring the lot of us over.
Yeah, for whatever you were doing. He mentioned something, but the words were too big for simple old me.
Well, the long and short of it is, we're here to look at animals and other such life that we don't normally see out in the rest of the world. And then he's gonna gesture over to, like, whatever he's got in the pens, of like, kind of like whatever you're raising over here. What exactly can you tell me about these things?
These are Cassadust runners. They'll kick you in if you ever manage to get the map, but they're tame enough. So they can run real fast. And the reason why we use them is they're good transport for the savannah. They can deal with the heat. They can even deal with the sands if you wish. But they're good and they're fast and they get a job done. Sweet little things too. And they kind of all do that dumb ostrich look and come running up full feathers. And they put their...
What they got's for eating? Plants? Critters? Where do you feed them?
They eat a little bit of both grain and insects. They'll peck whatever they can get, but the weeds and the grains are short in the sands, as my guess. So they use these big, powerful beaks as he runs his hand over this canonical and short beak that looks like it could definitely punch a hole in you if it wanted to. So they use these good, powerful beaks to get at the dried sandstone that's out in the savannah. Manage to find themselves nice fat grubs. And that rounds out their protein. A little bit of carbs here and there. Keeps them from getting backed up from all the guts.
I see.
And he kind of like rubs its beak. Rubs one of their beaks and just goes...
I wanna like try. I'm gonna look to him and be like, "You mind if I get close to him? You said they're usually on the nice side, right?"
I don't mind if you get closer, but be careful. Open palm up to the sky, low and slow. It'll come to you when it wants. Move too fast and you're gonna get that beak around your hand. That's gonna be a mighty nip, friend.
Thanks for the advice. Simpson will get close and, try to, like... try to do what he does with animals and just try to, like, get close to him.
Give me an animal handling.
Oh, goody, my favorite.
Woo. Yeah.
Of course.
So you try and bring your hand low and slow over the fence and towards this big old bird, and it kind of tilts its head, fluffs its feathers a few times, and then you don't even see it, but its head just dips forward and just nips you right on the thumb. Lightning fast.
So
all you felt is like somebody quickly smacked your thumb between two rocks. Not enough to cause any real damage, but it was a pinch.
he's just gonna like if he feels like any pain, he'll just sort of like keep it bottled up to try and not like scare it, and then just keep being he'll just keep trying to, like, get close to it. Yeah, coax it over.
Roll me another animal handling.
Alright. Boop! Little better.
Yeah.
It kind of like slowly walks over and it starts to like fold out its arms, shake the farthest feathers a little bit, and kind of just looks at your hand, and it gets close. Almost looks like it might calm down a little bit, and then a quick little peck right into the palm of your hand.
Still just gonna keep it to himself. He's stubborn. He just really wants to pet these things.
Alright, let's see if third time's the charm.
Haha. Nope.
No.
This character cannot roll well on any mental stat.
To be fair, that one's just some bad rolls.
It's usually par for the course for anything that involves wisdom or intelligence.
So it'll kind of
Try
like
again.
lower its head. This wrench is still kind of looking at you. Not saying much of anything. Definitely doesn't look annoyed or anything. And this bird will just do another light strike at you, but this time it'll catch your whole middle finger, and you'll just feel a light scratch go from base to tip of your finger.
At that time, he's gonna like vent through his teeth. He's just. And I think after that, he'll just retract his hand a bit. Just be like, well, I gave it what I could.
They did well. That one's Kevin. He's not that friendly. But I figured you would have wanted the experience for yourself rather than not trying at all.
But I didn't.
Eh. Yeah, you win some, you lose some.
So
You got any stories about these things? Anything anything fun happen? You said these critters could get through the sands a bit. How do you figure that? I thought most people tend to avoid trying to go there as much as they could.
Well, these are hot birds. They like the savannah, and they go really, really fast. Got a nice amount of stamina. So, it's not completely uncommon that one might venture towards the sands. And every once in a while, they see a couple critters out there that they want to get at. Remember, they like grains and vegetation. And they'll eat the spines off of cactuses if you let them. And there's one critter out there basically moving cactus. So if they see one, the movement kind of gets them triggered like a bug might. And they'll dash off at a high enough speed and chase it down. And once they get it, they'll pull off whatever part they want. They'll go darting back as quick as they can before the heat of sands gets them. Of course, it's also possible that all that kicking and running will make something else chase after them, and they may not make it back, but they'll get in there a little bit. Farther than those people manage to walk, at least. But they fast, boy. They fast. They make good time.
Interesting.
And at that, he's gonna just take his right hand that has a serious leather glove on it, and he'll be like, Kevin! And Kevin will just look at the glove and start trying to like peck and rip at it, but he won't get through the leather. And eventually he'll just wait until Kevin goes to peck at the palm. And in that instant, you'll see the old man just use a little bit of speed that you wouldn't think might come out of somebody with his frame. And he'll just grab Kevin by the beak and hold it. And as he struggles, he'll start to calm down a little bit more. And then he just kind of just stands there, looking like with 1,000-yard stares. His beak's being held by this big leather glove. See, the trick when they're nipping is you gotta have a big glove. And if you can get that beak closed, it'll put them in an interesting state. Same like if they're putting their beak in a mound. So they gotta calm down, because if they move too fast, they're gonna mess up all the dirt and bugs will get away. It's good when they're all riled up. It's about mating season, so Kevin here is pretty young. He's getting ready to do his deal. So it's a good time to try and get him in line.
They got they seem like the egg laying type, from what I can gather.
Mm-hmm. They lay big old eggs. Tastes pretty good if you don't need a new chick. And they can feed a good number of people. I mean, these are big eggs. And if you know what you're doing, the shells can either be used for arts and crafts or could be used as a weak material to kind of bolster things with.
They're like a bit of a backup.
Yeah. If you know what you're doing, you can make them into light plateware, but I wouldn't try and saddle them up as armor or anything that's meant to take an impact. And as Kevin kind of is sitting there calming down, he'll let him go, and Kevin will just shake his long neck around and go, and then he'll dart off into the rest of the pen.
How long these eggs usually take once they start hatching?
Oh, I say they need to incubate until about... Some will hatch early in the fall. Some may hit midwinter. It's pretty warm around the savannah year long, so it's a long process. But the chicks don't come out like most birds. They don't come out helpless or nothing. They come out pretty much able to run right off the bat. When you live in Zanzibar, you don't have time to be a baby. So they get up, they'll run, they'll strike at small vermin and stuff. Get that protein in. When they get older, they get off the mice and the rabbits, and they'll start going into grazing and getting bugs. But I'll tell you one thing, you don't even want the babies kicking you. One of these adults, they'll pull a hole right in your chest, but the baby, yeah, you could lose a femur. Go right in half like a toothpick.
Samson's just gonna wince at the thought of that. Just, damn. What's a femur?
Sounds painful.
So how long you think you'll be staying in town?
Yeah. Oh, we just came to sort of like catch ourselves, unload a bit. I got some... Between you and me, we're a little bit, overstocked for how much 5 people can eat as far as meat rations, so I was probably gonna find someone I could just give them to. Heard you, Zanzibar folk are, real good about, you know, scratching each other's backs. Figured I could offload this at the tavern and see if they might need some, more meat to stack up on. That's about it.
Yeah, possibly. Maybe if Rosebeard's ship wasn't in port. But old Guilford just came in, so I don't think there's gonna be much of anybody that need extra supplies now and then.
I guess that's true.
Sorry, I thought you were gonna say more there. But you know,
No, he's just trying to think of like what to do with all this stuff because like we have a lot of meat.
Eat it.
Yeah, and flowers.
No, the flowers stay.
I don't think we need, what was it, 26 bushels? And then Nim found more?
And now we have candy for it.
yeah,
Yeah?
I don't know. You gotta ask Kella on that. After eating that candy, who knows? Maybe she might not want to part with the edible arrangements anymore.
Shell gonna be a drug addict by the end of this campaign.
We've got an
Perfect.
alcoholic, a drug addict.
Another alcoholic.
Alcoholic 2.0.
A knife ear, and probably a third alcoholic.
Who knows? Maybe.
Yeah, Celeste doesn't have any addictions thus far. Unless you call reading an addiction.
Addiction to knowledge.
She's got... I was gonna make a literary pun, but I feel like most people might think it's something else based on it. Just for shits and giggles, I was going to say she has an addiction. Like diction? like words. Yeah. As you can see, not trying to explain the joke, but there's a couple of different ways people could think I'm saying something else, and that's yeah. Fortunately, English isn't one of those languages where wordplay always works.
No,
Wordplay doesn't work in a lot of languages. It's
no, it
wordplay.
does.
Yeah.
It depends on who you're telling it to.
Yeah, it's more so on the
Receivers
player
and
than the game.
yeah.
Yeah.
But don't say hot.
Enough about words. On to
Say what?
enough about words. On to the birds.
See, that's good wordplay.
Yeah, but that was about everything he had to say.
Yeah. Sebs is wondering how much he might be able to trade for one of those eggs.
How are you supposed to incubate it?
Get something warm, put it in the bag of holding. Eggs don't need oxygen. How cold is the astral plane?
I mean, I was more like about. I was more concerned about the whole eggs don't need oxygen thing.
How would you know when it hatches?
I mean, it wouldn't. Time doesn't really flow in the bag of holding. Last I checked.
I mean, like, time still... Well, I mean, there still is a measure of time.
It's just vastly slowed down.
Well, no, because, like, I think it says, like, a living creature has about 10 minutes of oxygen in there.
Oh.
But I don't know how much that translates to a not breathing... A much, 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 much less breathing, like, incubational creature. I don't know how to hatch an egg. Every egg I've encountered with has been dead for months.
I almost
Every
hatched a
egg
chicken
you've
once
ever
and dropped it.
encountered is been rotten to the core. Got it.
No, they're you buy them at a store.
The eggs on those shelves are not months old.
No, but you can keep your eggs around for months and they're still fine.
I tried to hatch a chicken egg
And
once.
confirm,
and
have
fell
done
off my
it.
phone.
Anyway, you tried to hatch a chicken egg and what happened?
It fell off my counter.
Counter chicken.
Yeah. I did not get to hatch that egg for obvious reasons, as it cracked.
Baby murder.
Baby murder, baby murder.
Anyway, so what does Samson say to this man?
He's still pondering about buying an egg. Oh. Thanks for everything. I didn't get your name, mister.
Thomas.
What was it? What did he say?
Thomas.
Thomas.
Wow.
Thank you, old man Thomas. I'll see you around.
Howdy doody. Yes, he'll just take off his hat and, tip it.
I'll tip my hat back and then we'll head back.
Hat moment.
Hat's
Tip's
a
probably a
bar.
little hungry, so he'll head to the tavern.
Hat's a bar. Hat's a bar.
Is Rosebeard still in the tavern?
Of course, Rosebeard's still in the tavern. What is
Is
this?
his shirt back on?
No.
So, you go and enter the tavern?
Yeah.
So, as you enter the tavern, roll me a dexterity save.
All right.
Dodge Rosebeard being thrown.
Damn.
Dang.
He's not good.
You just narrowly miss as a body comes flying through the doors.
Shit.
He's the friend.
And he kind of just rolls. It's one of the Umber Rose crew, and he kind of just rolls down the 2 steps onto the. I guess it's a porch, or rise up to the entrance. And as you look inside, you see Rosebeard, full shirt off, worked up a sweat by this point. He's like, "Come on, who's next? On toss, everybody!" Ah! As he goes over and grabs some beer tankards and just pours them on himself.
Samson is going to reach into his pocket and pull out a gold piece and flip it to himself.
Okay.
Not my problem.
He looks at the result for a sec, puts it back, and just cracks his knuckles and like stretches out his neck a bit and goes into the tavern.
Samson, you've already been unconscious once today.
Yeah.
You ain't living if you're living soft.
As you
You ain't
walk
living if you're
in,
unconscious the whole time.
the crew member that was behind you kind of runs back in over to the corner. He doesn't want to miss whatever the next fight is.
Hey there, party people! Look who's back.
Moneymaker! As Rosebeard just yells that, and I didn't want to go full on yell because my window's open. But he's just sloshing around the wet ale out of his beard, and the rest of the tavern's like, Moneymaker!
Did it mess up for anyone else where he peeked so hard it pushed him 20 feet away? Because it did on my end, and it was hilarious. Alright, so Samson's gonna just like, you know, like saunter through, wave at everyone.
Alright.
Ah. Hey there, Rosebeard. You look like you're having a time.
And as you look in his eyes just look wild. He's been drinking for quite a bit, and he's been wrestling for probably a bit more. And he just looks at you and goes, I ain't been hollering, I'll tell you about my life! Whoa!
I'd be willing to join you, but I think it'd do me good to fill my stomach a bit first.
Well, alright. Come on, which one of you salty sea land lovers gonna fight me next? Come on! I'm still reigning champ! Come on!
So as he's still hulking like Hulk Hoganing over there, I'm just gonna go like grab some food at like the tavern. The bar, rather.
Fair enough.
You got anything like light?
Alcohol or drink?
Yeah, food?
Light food?
You know, something not too heavy. Won't kill my stomach if I try to do anything rigorous afterward.
To like fight Rosebeard.
Oh.
Maybe.
And he kind of just walks over to the small prep station there. Kind of just reaches under to one of the... what you could assume is like a pantry cabinet. He pulls out a loaf of bread and drops it in front of you. That's pretty light.
Hey, good enough. He'll just start, like, eating the bread.
Yeah, fair enough.
So, yeah, he'll just eat the loaf of bread and drink some of his water skin.
Bread and water, the food of champions.
While I'm here, do I see, like, Prin and Celeste in the tavern?
You to take a look around, but they are not here.
Yeah, well.
Oh no, they died.
Murder mystery. I don't know which part you're yaying at.
The murder or the mystery?
Yes.
Ah, okay.
Absolutely.
So, has Rosebeard found a challenger in the time that that Samson took to eat his bread?
Yeah. An equally short and stocky crewmate has challenged him, though this is just a short and stocky human male, as opposed to another dwarf.
Mm-hmm.
And you see, they're having a different kind of brawl. Where earlier it was like a push fest that you weren't there for. This is an old slugfest.
Oh, so they're just going back and forth.
Oh yeah, they're just like bah bah, rib shots, jaw shots, and you just see Rosebeard wind one up, and he just decks this guy right in the chin, and he lifts a good 3 inches off the ground and falls on his ass, and he just starts laughing, going, "Oh my God, you got me! Ah, God, smarts!" And Rosebeard just starts hulking out again, flexing his muscles. You know, he's got that very traditional, very stereotypical, stocky dwarf build. Body look more like stone than anything else. I genuinely don't know how a fight between Samson and Rosebeard will go. I don't know. I'm both terrified and excited.
So after he finishes that one up, Samson's just going, oops. I accidentally closed out roll 20. Samson will go up to him and be like, "You mind if I give a crack at it?"
Oh, you wanna take a crack at me? Well, what are you in for? Wanna do an old push contest, or you think you can actually land a few good blows? As he just, takes a big old and spits over into the floor.
Well, I have a little bit of a investment to protect. Samson's going to gesture over to his face. So let's see if you can move me. So
okay.
I take it that it's customary for everyone to lose their shirt if they're going to be fighting.
Sounds like you just want to take your shirt off.
Yeah.
What am I, Praxis?
Yeah. do you ask him if it's customary?
I mean, everyone seems to just do it. Was there a single fight I saw that was not shirtless?
No.
So then I assume it's custom.
Yeah.
Woo!
I mean, there's reasoning behind it.
Well, yeah, it's also gonna be harder to grab someone if they're not wearing their shirt.
Yeah, and it's also hard to get snagged up on things if you don't have a shirt.
Yeah, so
Which,
Samson
with metal buttons, rivets, and other things that are on clothing, you don't want somebody to throw a punch or push you and then get their hand snagged and get some cuts
you don't want anyone to get hurt. You're just wrestling for some fun.
Yeah, hey, slamming somebody in the jaw with a fist or a broken rib or two is one thing in a world of magic, but nobody wants a torn cuticle. Nobody wants those fucking things that are actually painful.
Yeah, no, though that's like 1,000,000 dice of damage.
Yeah, that's 1,000 D1000s.
So
And a paper cut? That's like 10,000 D1000s. Don't even get me started on a cardboard cut.
So yeah, Samson will let's see, you got the hat, the goggles, and the cloak that he puts down first and foremost. he's not the type to like be worried about any of these people, so he'll just like find a table he can put his stuff down. Takes off his backpack and both bags of holding. Takes off his leather armor and bracers, and then finally like takes his shirt off. Or I guess it would be shirts, because like Varisian clothing would be like a lot of light layers.
Ah, yes. Shirts plural.
Yeah, you know, like lighter layers that can breathe, but like still enough to like protect you against the sun.
Quick question: since we started late, what time are we stopping at, so I can keep track of time?
Hour later
Whenever
than
Jade decides
usual.
she wants to go to sleep.
So like 11.
Yeah, 11 our time.
Okay.
Because Jade is now far away.
Yep.
Oh, back in Cali.
Yeah, it's 6
That's
o'clock
what
here.
I honestly thought you just said it sucks.
No, it doesn't. It's great.
Yeah, it sucks.
It is
Jade,
6
so
o'clock.
Alright, so it almost feels pointless to like point out anything because none of the party is here.
You could point it out for the players.
Man, if only we had joined you.
I mean, you two were asleep, so
Yeah.
and the other two were gone
Grumpy
somewhere.
Slim.
So much like how Samson's got like kind of that little scar on his face, he has a few more like scars on his torso. But besides that, what a lot of people probably wouldn't know just from looking at him, he's actually kind of built.
Ah, yes. He walks on his buns and dies.
Nah, he doesn't have like can't wipe your ass muscles, but
It's pretty self-explanatory.
Samson.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Samson is not Bara. He's like
Approaching Bara.
he's like kind of built, but like mostly cut.
He's like Armstrong. Oh wait, you
Like
wouldn't get
Charlotte.
that.
No, he's not that built.
That didn't mean like the real Armstrong. But you still wouldn't get the reference. So.
The astronaut?
No, I meant the character from Full Metal.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
knew that's what
exactly.
you were referencing, but
Oh.
no, he's not that strong.
Oh, Edward.
Oh, yeah, that's a
That's
much
a
different
much-
person. That's a much different character.
Yeah, that's much more in line with what I know you're talking about.
Yeah, probably a little bit like a bit more muscular, just because he's like taller. But yeah, it's pretty much that, and he's just getting ready. It's like, all right, Rosebeard, you and me.
Just don't blame me if you end up flying across the table or two.
I could say the same.
I like to see you try, pretty boy.
So
Kill him.
what would this? So we square up. How exactly does this go?
I was thinking it was gonna go kind of like card game rules, except possibly all a little modified because I don't remember exactly how your card game rules went.
So like contested athletics?
I was just gonna go for a generic D20, competing numbers. A higher one wins the round.
Well, with the card game, we did it intelligence because it's usually what balance.
Yeah, but here's the difference. With the card game, you had two PC characters with full sheets and stats.
And
Here you have an NPC who doesn't have a stat sheet yet.
So come up with a number. It's one stat.
It would be a strength competition no matter what, right? Oh, who died?
Yeah.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. Can't hear
I got
Jay.
kicked off.
There you go.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, athletics is usually for things like grappling and wrestling.
I've got two numbers in my head, and I'm gonna flip a metaphorical coin to see which one it is. It's that one.
Wow. That one.
Well, wouldn't help if I told you what it was. Besides, when I do the
Oh, I
roll,
know.
you'll figure out what the modifier is anyway.
Oh, I know. I just wanted to say, wow, that one.
Be a
Response to
meme.
it being-
Got it.
That one.
Ooh.
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 You are.
Ooh.
No.
Awa.
Ooh.
Ugh.
Ooh woo. Ooh woo. Ooh
Ugh.
woo. Ooh woo.
Woe's beards.
Wait,
Ew,
will you
will-
roll with another thing?
Go for
Not
both
yet.
be a
We're
one
waiting to see
guy.
who wins this fight. If it's not Simpson, he's getting kicked out of the group.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Your connection to the
Alright.
server has been interrupted. Anything you attempt to do will restarting roll 20.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
What the fuck is Rosebeard's number that it broke roll 20?
He's got a plus 300.
You better use your inspiration if you want
I
to see.
am Sparta! Hold on, I have to use the restroom, so I'll be right back.
And then we never saw Shay again.
Why am I the one getting kicked out? You know what this is like for me right now. I might actually get kicked out perma.
Just like before.
And we'll never see Shane.
I'm so glad you think of my presence so fondly.
We do. But, like, it's also funny when it's not.
Oh yes, because that clears up everything.
Alright, I'm back. You ready for this contest of power?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Did your roll 20 restart? Because I didn't see you leave.
yeah, I just clicked restart.
Okie dokie.
So it kind of just went boop, boop, boop. If
Okay.
it flickered at all, then it was a fraction of a second. So, my rolls for him would just be on a d20 plus the modifier, right?
Yes, and I would click the thingy on my sheet.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
doesn't technically matter what we say it's for, because the formula itself will stay the same.
Yes?
Yeah. I'm just double
Alright,
checking.
so athletics. To wrestle like we are in Olympics.
So, Johnny comes up between the two, and he separates you with his hand, and he just looks at both of you, and he's like, "You boys ready?"
Ready. Oh my god, he turned into a dog.
Maybe he's doing, like,
that sound.
something that's not alcohol.
So Johnny will just look at both of you and smile.
Oh god, he is a wrestler. He's been doping this whole time.
Dumping on booze. So Johnny will lift his hand and go, "Have at it!" And make your
Alright.
roll.
Yeehaw.
Ooh, first one to Samson. Samson gets a good initial grasp, and you've got a bit of leverage. Ready for the second one?
I'm putting up more of a fight than you thought I was.
I don't underestimate me in the first few seconds, boy. Ready?
Ha!
Oh!
Ooh.
Oh!
So you continue your good grapple streak, and yeah.
All right. So this is like a pushing thing, like trying to push each other back, right?
Yeah, you're trying to like push each other and get the jump on the other one.
Dose of koi, dose of koi.
You fucking weeb. Ready for
He
round
said
3?
having people sumo wrestle in a tavern.
Hey, a lot of other people do this kind of wrestling. Pretty sure the Scots do it in a kiddie pool full of mud.
All right, roll number 3.
Yeah.
Yeehaw!
Woo!
Yeah.
Rosebeard's trying to keep up, but he's sweating a bit. All the booze and the fighting may be getting on him. Wait, if I go up...
Samson just got like a big old grin on his face.
You don't get cocky, it might fall apart on you! Ready?
Ready.
Jesus.
Yeah.
His hands are kind of slipping up. Let's see, we got 1, 2, 3,
Finish it.
4. Ready?
Ready. Woo!
In a tour de force, your hands slip on the slick sweat just a little, and he gets a nice good grab underneath you. Or what I say about getting cocky, boy?
You still got some fight in you, see, you old sea codger.
I'm not old, I am in my prime. You ready?
Yep.
That's what old people say.
Yeah.
I want to use my inspiration for that.
Do you?
Yes.
Is this the last one?
This is my only one.
No, last round.
No. 1, 2, 3, 4.
So that's 5 for me and 1 for him so far.
Yeah. So you use
So
your
he's almost
inspiration.
got me like on the ropes after that last one, but I fight back.
Yeah, fair enough. Ready?
Yep. Hooah!
And then it got quiet.
Mm-hmm.
6.
Waiting
Yep.
for another step by step.
That's 6 rounds.
That's 6 rounds.
That's 6 rounds. An actor
That's 6
sequence.
rounds.
All right, so Samson and Rosebeard going at it. Obviously, it's a little bit harder for Samson because he has to kind of like push downward. But then, excuse me. Samson manages to push him to the point where like one of his legs will like slip out, and then kind of like use that to like push, probably from like where his like stomach is, a little upwards, and just sort of like launch him a bit after he fell off his feet, and just toss him into like a, I don't know, do I want to aim for like a table?
Up to you.
Nah, I'll try and like fling him somewhere where no one is, or or maybe like where some of his crew is, so they can kind of catch him. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll like toss him into his crew.
Fair enough. And they'll catch him, and Rosebeard's just gonna look absolutely winded at this point. And Johnny's just gonna come over and grab your hand and raise it up into the air. And the whole tavern's gonna erupt in the loudest boom you've heard since you got here.
Yeah! Varisis takes one.
Even though no one knows who it is.
I need more ale.
I feel like he needs to be fed.
Go to
Does
one,
that
Mary
mean, alright,
Baker.
Grandpa, let's put you to bed?
Yeah, that's exactly it.
To be fair, he's been going at this for hours.
Oh yeah, no, like Samson was meaning to give him the credit for that too.
And one of the crewmates run over with another tanker of ale. It's just like, I got it, here you go. Thanks. And he just shoves it and tosses the tanker into the ground.
I am going to go to the bar myself, and I'm going to grab 2 tankards of ale. And I'm gonna go up to Rosebeard and offer him one. As I assume he's like getting back onto his feet.
Yeah, he's getting up onto his feet. His coat, his jacket arms kind of slinging up beside him. Because, you know, on his short frame, sleeves hit the ground.
Yeah.
Oh, I slaughter. Nothing like good ale to cool you off.
I agree. And Simpson was hoping to get a cheers in, but then like he just sees Rosebeard downs the whole ass thing. It's like, hey, all right.
It just takes it and throws it on the floor again. Oh. Oh. I lasted longer that time than the last time we were in port. Getting stronger every day.
Yeah, we'll chalk it up to, you were just a little exhausted from everyone else.
Boy, you don't even know how many people I've tossed today. And I'm pretty much the shortest person here.
I have a feeling it was probably about the whole place twice, but...
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, my ribs are sore.
Hey, you think you can, answer a few questions for me, being new in town and all? I got, some things about this place I want to probe you for. That's alright.
Hey, shoot. And he kind of, like, sits back down onto the floor and reaches into his jacket to pull out a handkerchief, and he starts wiping his brow.
There doesn't seem to be much in the way of, craftsmen and tradesmen over here, so and seeing it's a port, I figured this place comes and goes with a lot of things from all over the island and whatever you bring in.
Boy, that is true. Most of this stuff, maybe at one time, it was more like the other places, but since we've been running the old Rose around, this is the only settlement that's on the main path that runs up and down the continent. So it's kind of the center of the 3 hubs. You've got where we are now, that kind of runs the main supply line that hits up and down, connects the village and the port of Zanzibar and the village of Zanzibar to the rest of the island. And you have... You know, it goes up north. You've seen your map. And
I have.
We've got the port of Zanzibar that cuts a little bit of time, but that's the same stuff. And then there's the port town of Zanzibar, which is a little south, and it's the other 3 in the cove that runs to the more western part. So, this place is pretty much a distribution hub.
So would I be right in thinking that there might be a few things I can gather before we head on our way?
And he looks up at you, and you're like, "You went through everything you got from me when we first landed? That's impressive."
No. That's why I still have stuff to trade.
Fair enough.
Made a few good deals here and there, but mainly there's a few things I'm looking at picking up. Simpson's gonna like redress, put everything back on after he like cools down a bit.
Yeah, Rosebeard's just gonna sit there on the floor, top off.
Like, I don't know how much y'all move magic items around, but you got any more bags like these? He's gonna show him the bag of holding.
Bags of holding?
Mm-hmm.
No, not really. We got preservation tags and we move things by cart. I mean, honestly, if we started putting things bags of holding, might make things a little easier, but yeah, I've never seen a need to move that much cargo around. Zanzibar's kind of nice. We could get more stuff in. We could start building civilization. But, people here kind of just like things the way they are.
Ain't nothing wrong with simple.
No,
I've known that my whole life.
ain't nothing wrong with deadly either. I think if we started building things up, people wouldn't be the same.
Yeah, people can get a little cushy when they don't think they're in danger anymore.
Exactly. And just in case my worst nightmare ever comes to life, and I just start crawling up on the beaches, I don't want to see anybody be soft enough or slow enough to get caught.
Yeah, that's a nightmare. I really wish you didn't tell me that.
Every single night I hear one, I always think of this come out of the water.
No.
Should be some airports.
You know anywhere on Zanzibar we might be able to pick one up? Or is that mainly like a outside world kind of thing?
I wouldn't particularly know of anyone. I mean, like I've said before, I never really get to see the inlet or the mainland. I live most of my life on the sea, and where I'm not on the sea, I like to be by ground. So, no, it is possible somewhere in the interior they started toying around and making something like it, but if they have, I haven't seen it yet, and certainly no one's talked about it, so...
Fair enough. Only one other thing really of interest. I don't know if you remember, but our little tabaxi friend, when she was on your boat, she had like this fancy old necklace of sorts. But we had to part ways with it to get through the savannah relatively unscathed.
I ain't gonna imagine it has something to do with them walking tripod nightmares.
Bingo.
Whatever they're called, corn,
Zorn, I think.
Definitely corn.
Definitely.
if you say so.
The natives call it maize.
Like I said, if it's in the water or if it is anywhere near the water, I typically know something about it.
Well, listen, even if you can't give me the whole answers, you can give me an idea of if any of the port towns might have what I'm looking for. You know, it cuts my search in half, you know what I mean?
You're looking for that stone.
Yeah. I don't know how much it meant to her, but she gave it up so we could all move through. I figured it'd be a nice little gesture to try and get something similar.
Honestly, I really don't know where you'd find it. And I certainly know I haven't brought any on a manifest recently.
Oh. I'll just have to ask around. You know anyone who would know anyone?
Hey, you could check with Johnny. He usually keeps the last 3 manifests we've had stuck in the back of his head. But honestly, people don't move around that much, and you kids are crazy, so you're doing things most people don't.
I guess you're right.
Not
Well,
like we had a choice.
thanks for that. I'll see you around, Rosebeard. If not tomorrow, then we'll see you when we see you.
Probably, unless you get eaten. Then it's goodbye.
Then it's goodbye. And Sam's just gonna like finish the rest of his tankard and just like place him the bar counter and head out. Whew. And head back to the little shack.
Is the whole party there? Celeste and Prince still gone?
I'm sorry, repeat the question?
Are Celeste and Prin there now, or are they still gone?
Oh yeah, well, Samson was out. Prin and Celeste came back. Celeste actually came back with small wooden bowl with food in it, and you know she didn't have. And you know she didn't get that bowl from you because that's clearly a tavern bowl. So at some point while she was gone, she was at the tavern.
They have this new thing I have never heard about. It is called leftovers.
It is called cheese curds. I really like it. It's nice. You know, I could see Celeste walking around with a bowl of cheese curds, just like eating one every like 5 minutes. Tiny little
Yeah.
bites.
I am not sure what a poutine is, but it is very nice.
She's like turning. The more you imitate her, the more she like turns into someone from Spain or French.
Listen, I don't know. I'm throwing a dart at Europe, and then I'm just rolling with the outcome.
But yeah. So you walk back in. Prin's over in the corner doing his thing. Celeste is kind of just sitting there with a bowl and basically the Zanzibarian equivalent of a doggy bag. And I'm guessing Kiala and them are still asleep.
Probably.
Unless they're being loud.
Yeah.
Yes.
Samson starts firing his gun into the air.
Okay, we're
Nah.
awake now.
Nah, he's just gonna... He'll find, like, a little place for himself. Which is probably on the floor he was lying at in the first place.
Well, just throws himself on the bedroll. Now
Yeah.
on top of it.
Yes, as it should be.
Hello, son of Sam.
Oh, hey, Celeste. I'd say I didn't expect you to be up, but... Well, you're you.
Sleep.
I do not sleep. You not
Yes,
sleep.
I am aware.
Yes. We do not sleep. We meditate.
Yeah, how's that going for you, by the way? You don't seem to be, like, rested.
I do not understand. What is this rested?
Yeah, that's too much to get into.
Yes. I suppose. I would be looking at my book, but this is kind of oily, and I do not want to ruin the pages, so I eat. Yeah, she just takes another bit and puts it in her mouth.
Makes sense. Alright, well, I'm heading to sleep. You managed to, You ever managed to get some Z's? Good luck to you, I guess.
Do I need to worry? Did you talk to a native? Is there a Z creature that I must be able... What?
Never mind. Good night, Celeste.
Good night, son of Sam.
And Samson will head in for the night.
So all three of you are asleep?
Woohoo.
Yes?
Slumber party.
Bumper party.
And at some point, Prin will tuck her into, and Celeste will kind of just look at all of you sleeping. And just finish up her food. It was surprisingly tasty. And she'll kind of just look over at Nim, look over at her stone.
Throw the stone at Nim.
Why would you throw it?
Just chuck the stone at Nim with full force, like, hey, you get up!
Eldritch blast her with the pet rock.
I'll just blast her with the pet rock. I just realized something. Fucking Bot's been dead.
Yeah.
Ruh-roh.
How long has it been dead?
Yeah.
Ruh-roh.
Curse you, Frederick. I feel like this happens every single time. Ugh. Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
Celeste looks at him and then looks at her rock.
Thank you.
No problem.
She looks at Nim, looks at a rock, and she kind of just fumbles with the rock in her hand. Kind of looks back over at Nim. Do you ever wonder if things could be different?
Like, all the time, but Nim's asleep.
Yeah. Well, she's
just
saying
like,
she's saying it like
yeah.
at you, but she's not trying to wake you up.
Yeah,
Man,
but
in
how
some worlds,
meta-
maybe my parents love me.
Man, it'd be so meta if Nim's like, all the time, why do you ask?
Just
It'd
sleep
be really
talking.
funny. And she kind of just runs her thumb over her pet rock, her Rocky. And she kind of just looks down at it. And, then she meditates.